our money, but eventually it all changes, and that's what we're witnessing today. It's a change in attitude, because we know this can't continue, because we're living off the fact that people still trust our dollar around the world. But it's fast fading. There are plans being laid to have an alternative world currency, and this will be very damaging. And we can work on it, as so many of us have in this country, to restore the Constitution and sound money and commodity money. But the other side of this argument, they know exactly what we know, and guess what? They're planning on a worldwide currency. They're talking about the United Nations, the IMF, imposing a world currency. What we need is a restoration in the concept of liberty, the understanding and the faith and confidence that it does work. And that is, I think, where we have come up short. We have lost our confidence in ourselves, and we have allowed this idea that we can become dependent on government. But now the productivity is gone way down, and we are a much poorer nation. But the one thing that is really bothersome in another way about when we become dependent on government and redistribution of wealth and all the special interests, that if people become dependent and it seems like, well, they're needy and we save them and we take care of them, actually when they get totally dependent on others, they lose their sense of worth. And I think this is what happens so often. What freedom is all about. For me, it's seeking excellence and virtue. That's what our personal responsibility is, whether it is in caring for ourselves and our family, if it's caring for our intellectual pursuits, if it's caring about our spiritual life. It is up to us. Our creative energy comes from liberty. When we lose our liberty and the government curtails us, we destroy that and destroy the sense of worth. And I think we're at that point today because there's a lot of anger out there, because right now they're fighting and screaming in the argument up in Washington. Why don't you guys get along together? Well, they got along together. They always compromised. One side wanted to spend money on one thing, the other side wanted on something else, and they compromised and spent it on both. Yeah. Till we're broke. So it isn't compromise we need. We need a definition of what truth and rightness is, and then bring people together on these issues. That's what we need. Now, if you bring people together because of freedom, everybody might come together for a different reason. Everybody is going to use their freedom in a different way, but we all should join in supporting freedom. We accept this all the time. We accept this all the time on our religious values. Yeah. Many people have different religious values, different churches, different beliefs. Some are atheists. But if we believe in freedom, we allow people to do that. It should be that way in social affairs as well. Concept of freedom divided into pieces. The founders had it together right. Personal liberty and social liberty and economic liberty was all the one and the same. They never talked about it. But now we have a group defends economic liberty to a degree, and they get sloppy with that. And then another group will get and say, well, we're going to protect civil liberties, and I'm a civil libertarian, you know, and we're going to take care of that. But it's one and the same. And when you see this come about, it is not going to be a Republican revolution. It's not going to be a Democratic revolution. It's going to be a revolution of all the people coming together and saying, freedom is an issue. For those who say that this is going to the past and going backwards, you know, that it's only beginning the understanding of liberty. It's only a couple hundred years of a real test. If they are the past, we are the future, as far as I'm concerned. But good things are happening in the country, and one is that people like you are very numerous and growing in numbers. They're all over the country. You know, last week and continuing this week, we've been talking on the campuses and bringing people out, and we get usually these small crowds of 3,000 to 4,000 up to 8,000.